Eckerd College is a small liberal arts institution in Florida's Gulf Coast, St. Petersburg. With a student population of about 1,800, Eckerd focuses on community engagement as well as the mentoring program, which allows students to build upon personal ideas and making it a reality. Being part of the 40 Colleges That Change Lives and the Princeton Review's 2015 Guide to Green Colleges, Eckerd College values environmental sustainability and provides students with various opportunities on campus to explore this area of study. While Eckerd College claims to be an environmentally friendly institution, with various sustainable projects implemented, such as the Yellow Bike program, the U-Haul Car Share program, and the recycling program, to name a few, there are many misconceptions that occur around campus, both positive and negative, and we wanted to discover and communicate the facts to students on Eckerd's environmental practices. We have conducted several interviews which consist of students, staff, and faculty to get the various perspectives in answering the question everyone wants to know. Is Eckerd as sustainable as it claims to be? Focusing on utilities and sustainable initiatives that have been implemented on campus, here's what the Eckerd community has to say.
Well, there are a multitude of practices that Eckerd uses to keep its environmental sustainability up. Like, my roommate works with composting. This building is completely green. However, there are some updates that can be managed in order to make it more sustainable. I think there should be rooftop gardens on top of certain buildings that have a flatter surface that have much access to light. That would be a great introduction to another sustainable program at our school.
I think it does better than a lot of colleges do. We definitely strive to be sustainable, and there are a lot of steps that we do take.
According to the website at Eckerd, it's the 322nd most sustainable college, or like it's one of them in the United States and Canada, so I think that's pretty impressive.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I hear a lot. I know they try, and I know there's like a specific group of people on campus that get involved and like to do things. I know like Haley Berger, she's really good about that, and it's something that's really important to a lot of students on campus.
I know we have a composting club, and that's pretty sustainable. We have several different recycling bins.
Well, we're doing well compared to other colleges, specifically of our size, but we can be a lot better. And I think we're getting better and stronger every year in terms of our sustainability initiatives. And I'd like to see the trend continue. So we're far from the best, and we're certainly not the worst, but I think there's room for improvement, and we're getting better.
We're somewhat of an unusual institution because we are small and only undergraduate. And so it would really only make sense to compare us to other schools that are kind of in a similar situation. Actually, the Ford scholar I'm working with this year, Haley Berger, did her Ford research on this question. She went to other schools that are also in kind of the Princeton Guide to Green Colleges and have been generally recognized as green in some way or another. They're roughly the same size, and she did interviews with their sustainability programs. And based on that sample, we're kind of somewhere in the middle.
We do okay, I think. If you're looking at the academic side of things, we are definitely, we have a strong environmental studies program. I'm obviously a little biased in that, but that was the reason I chose to come to Eckerd, was because we had strong environmental studies faculty. But when it comes to sustainability initiatives, I think we've got a lot of room to improve.
There are definitely some programs that are further along than we are. Oberlin and Middlebury are probably two of the more well-known and certainly kind of a little bit further ahead of us in terms of sustainability and environmental stewardship on campus. But there are also others that have been at this not as long as we have and are still getting some programs up and running that we have actually got going. So I'd say Eckerd's doing all right. Definitely room for improvement, but we've made some good strides forward.
We've got a lot of room to improve. We're ranked on a couple really environmental, like collegiate ranking systems, like the Princeton Review's Guide to Green Colleges. We've been listed on that a couple times. And it often comes back to our Yellow Bikes program being kind of a novel idea, and use it as an example of something that we do that's environmentally great, I guess. And I'm a little critical of that. I think that it's not as green of an idea as we think. It's a cute idea and it makes us stand out, but a true, I think, kind of Yellow Bike program could be one that encouraged students to use bikes off campus or substitute cars completely for bringing a bike to campus.
So the LEED system is a third-party nonprofit organization that rates green buildings according to a pretty elaborate set of criteria. And there's 4 levels. There's certified, silver, gold, and platinum. And so the James Center has actually achieved the highest level of certification.
I actually did not know that.
What we do here instead is actually we bring in wastewater from the nearby treatment plant and we push all of our extra heat into that wastewater. And then that wastewater flows back to the treatment plant and gradually cools off. And what that means is we don't have to evaporate a whole bunch of otherwise perfectly useful water just for the purpose of cooling.
Was it when they, the construction people, they pretty much ripped them out? And I don't know, that's all I know is that they pretty much ripped them out and then a lot of people were pissed off.
Are you talking about how they uprooted them in order to build a new bridge that links from the James Center to the new Art Center?
I felt like a little involved in that. I remember walking by the Chapel Pond path in the middle and seeing them being cut down, and I right away sent an email to the head of facilities at the time, asking like, what's going on, or what construction project? I'm concerned there's mangroves, and he replied to me saying that, oh no, it's only Brazilian pepper. But then I definitely walked up to the water and saw like mangrove roots being cut. And so I think I informed him again, and then he said, okay, construction's been halted, we're gonna figure this out. And then from there, it kind of blew up.
They were actually just supposed to be removing some invasive species from the edge of the pond. And the people who started to do the removal apparently had not been educated sufficiently on the difference between mangrove and Brazilian pepper. They grow in the same habitat, they can look familiar, like similar to one another. And so they had actually tagged a whole bunch of the mangroves as Brazilian pepper and proceeded to remove them before anybody had come along as oversight and said, no, those are not actually Brazilian pepper, those are mangroves. And that was not any employee of Eckerd, that was actually an outside service that had been contracted to do that work.
Yes.
Awesome.
I definitely think so.
I don't know how to quantify that, but I think for the most part, we have a pretty good program.
We recycled 62 tons of recycling. Every year, in terms of trash, we throw out approximately 800 tons of trash, 800 to 900 tons of trash. So that puts us at about 6 to 8% diversion rate.
No! No!
When I first started interning for Evan, my goal was really to create a connection between student ideas, so an incoming freshman who's maybe taking an environmental studies course and is learning about all these cool things that they can do on campus, connecting them with the right current students, the right faculty, the right staff members, connecting them with ideas that may have already been in existence, with kind of momentum that is already there, and connecting them to the right people to get them done.
I'd love to see the Office of Sustainability expand. I'd like to continue being the Sustainability Director. I want someone to fulfill my old internship position with Eckerd called the Sustainability Fellow position, and I'd also like to continue to have a student, preferably a junior or senior, be the Office of Sustainability Intern. So that way, with the 3 of us, we can effectively work with the staff, students, as well as the faculty.
One of the huge things that my committee has been working on is the issue of trying to ban the use of single-use plastic water bottles on campus. That's something that over 60 other colleges in the nation have done. So it's obviously something that is attainable, and from our green perspective at Eckerd, it's something that we really should want to do.
But we don't have a consistent framework for how we make decisions on campus that always includes the values of sustainability. And so when you have that kind of thing, then you establish your sustainability principles and you apply them to all the decisions.
From the information we have gathered, we can conclude that while Eckerd has some great environmental programs in place, there is a lot of room for improvement. There also seems to be a lack of communication between the institution and the student body with regards to the environmental practices of Eckerd College. While there are many suggestions to improve Eckerd's sustainable initiatives, we feel that the best course of action in improving its environmental practices is to establish a sustainability-based core value, as suggested by Professor Sherry. This value will not only guide future projects, but also be incorporated into the behavior of our community.